Hi everyone, welcome back. Hey, today's recipe we're making a southwestern potato hash. Now what's different about my recipe is I'm using a combination of gold potatoes and sweet potatoes. And then our southwestern flair is we're going to be using a poblano pepper and a little bit of Ancho chili powder for that nice smoky, almost sweet flavor. So I'm Rockin' Robin and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. All right, let's go over our ingredients. First off, we have our potatoes here. I'm using gold potatoes. You want to use those, guys. They are the best ones to use as opposed to, say, russet or the red potatoes. These are the creamiest. So what I did here was I peeled it. Use organic, guys, because, you know, it's got a lot of pesticides on it. And so I peeled off most of the peel, but I like to leave a little bit of it on. So just cut it into little cubes, half an inch square, let's say, and try and keep them all uniform in size so they'll cook up about the same time. Next, we have our sweet potatoes, which I did basically the same thing. I peeled all the skin off of that, though, and cut them into chunks. I have a red bell pepper here, some yellow diced onion. I have a poblano pepper, which we're going to char up and blister it up nice, get it nice and soft on the stove right behind me. I've got my Ancho chili powder. We have a little bit of butter. I'm using organic butter here, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to start off here by cooking my poblano pepper. So I've got my flame on here on the stove, and I'm just going to set this right on top of the grate. Watch your fingers, it gets pretty hot. So basically we'll just let this char up. You can hear it start to snap, crackle, and pop. And we'll show you what that looks like. The whole thing is going to turn black. Now you want your pepper to char all over. If you see those little green spots where it hasn't charred yet, you really want to try and get those blackened up, because that means that the skin is softened up. It'll be easy to peel off later, because we are peeling off this black stuff, in case you were wondering. Once you feel like you've got it all charred up, place it into a bowl and then cover the bowl. And that way the pepper will steam. And we'll let that sit for about 10 minutes, and then I'll show you how we peel off the skin. All right, guys, we're going to start off here by putting some olive oil into our pan. You want to use a non-stick pan for this. I happen to have a ceramic pan here. So I got my olive oil, and I'm using butter because butter is going to make it brown up really nice. So in go our potatoes. Here's our sweet potatoes. You pretty much don't want to overcrowd your pan because you want everything touching the heat as much as possible. All right, so I'm going to kind of push these down. Like I said, my temperature's on medium heat. I'm going to cover this for about 10 minutes. That should help, soften up those potatoes before we add some of our other ingredients. All right, so while our potatoes are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and peel off the charring of our poblano pepper. So grab yourself a couple of paper towels, and pretty much all we're going to do is just rub the skin off. And you don't have to get all of the black stuff off, actually. I mean, you can get all of it off, but not every speck. And don't rinse it under the water because you rinse away a lot of the good flavor. So at this point, I'm going to cut the end off here. Make a slit down your pepper. And this one doesn't have very many seeds, so we'll just take those out. And then it's just a matter of slicing this up into small little pieces. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes, and I'm going to turn these over. You can see things are browning up, getting crispy, which is what you want. All right, I'm going to turn the heat down just a smidgen. I'm going to add the onions, the bell pepper, and the green chili. Now I'm going to add some salt to this. Potatoes need to have their salt, so we'll sprinkle some salt in there. A little bit of Ancho chili powder. And the garlic powder. And we're going to give this a stir to combine everything up. I'm going to cover this until the potatoes are soft, which will be about 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, I'm going to take the lid off because I know my potatoes now are nice and soft. They're perfect. And we just want things, I haven't stirred it yet, we want things to crisp up. That's where you get the flavor. All this nice little browning here is what you want. So I might turn my flame up just a little bit now and back up to medium. And we're gonna just let these sit because we wanna get that crispiness in there. And then I'll flip it, you know, after a few minutes more, and you're gonna see that, you know, you've got that nice crispy edge, which really makes them taste great. Our potatoes are done. And you can see here how beautifully, you know, crispy they look. I really like that nice crispy edge that you get on these. So when you're cooking them, make sure you don't stir them too often. Just let them sit. It's kind of like wine, you know, you gotta let it breathe. Well, this you gotta let it sit so that those, you know, caramelization will occur as it sits on the heat like that. So, and that's where you get all the flavor. All right, so this dish is perfect with eggs in the morning for breakfast or just as a side dish, you know. Look at how beautiful this is. All right, let's give this a little taste here. Delicious combination, guys. I love the gold potatoes with the sweet potatoes. It's just a nice flavor mix with the southwestern, you know, flair that I got going on in there with the poblano pepper and a little bit of Ancho chili powder. Really delicious, guys. The bell pepper as well. I mean, you can taste all those flavors. It's really delicious. So thank you for watching my video. I do appreciate it. Share it if you like it, and give me a thumbs up. And of course, leave me a comment. I always love hearing from you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching. All right. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I've got a button for you. You can click it. It's right up here, and you'll be notified every week when I put out a new video. So thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.